Hi, this is Larry London. Welcome to Border Crossings. And today we are talking with a young lady who has already attracted millions and millions of views on social media, and her music resonates all around the world. We are so thrilled to have Makenzie Phipps on the show.
Yes, thank you for having me. I appreciate it.
And it's great to have you with us today. And, there's nowhere that it says how old you are. So if you don't mind me asking how old you are.
Yes, so my birthday is 1 week from today,
Oh,
and I will be in my T Swift era, as they call it. I will be the big 22.
wow. Wow. Well, happy birthday.
Thank you. I feel very old.
Yeah, yeah. 22, you're very old. What do you
I
want
feel
for your birthday? What are you hoping for? Anything special planned or anything?
so. What I want for my birthday. So I'm actually right now in the process of moving into a new apartment, and once I get settled and everything, I am going to potentially be adopting a new kitty.
Oh, I know you're very involved with animal support, animal shelters, animal rescues, and things like that. So, how did you get connected to animals? You're just a warm-hearted, compassionate person, or was there a story?
Yes, so I have always loved animals. Ever since I was a little girl, if I could pet it, I loved it. And I've always had that heart for animals. I think they're so cute. I think they're just little helpless, defenseless creatures, and they must be protected at all costs. And I really got started into the shelter world going on it's going on 3 years now. I can't believe it. But back in 21, to make a long story short, I had went to my local animal shelter in West Virginia. They were raising money for a pit bull. His name was Swanson, and they found him running around the area. He had no use of his back legs. His ears were clipped, everything like that. We were raising money to help him live a better life and to kind of get more function in his legs. We got him a wheelchair and everything, and things started going good. And then unfortunately, we reached that peak, and it unfortunately went downhill from there, and he was slowly deteriorating. And I believe it was a week before Christmas of 2021, we had to really just look at his quality of life. And at this point, we knew that he was suffering. He had held up a good fight. So we had decided to lay him to rest because he didn't deserve to go through any more pain than what he was already going through. So I vowed from that point on that I was going to try to help as many animals get into their forever homes. So I had worked diligently with that shelter for a year and a half, 2 years, I believe. And I was able to get over 30 dogs into their forever homes.
Well, good for
And
you.
I love being able to help as much as I can. I know a lot of people on my social media pages very much enjoy seeing my animal content. I haven't really been able to post much since I've moved to Nashville, but they also love seeing my kitty.
And that's great. That's a great story. And when you say forever, the pet name of the shelters forever. What did you say? Forever what?
Oh, yes. So the shelter was actually called the Mercer County Animal Shelter.
Oh,
I would
okay.
help them get into their forever homes by hosting
Forever homes. That's
a
it.
segment that I called Take Me Home Thursday. And that's
Right.
when I would showcase a dog, talk about what they would need in a household, whether they needed to be the only animal, they
Mhm.
were not good with children, they were people selective, just to
Mhm.
try to find their owner.
Right. And the way that forever home is spelled is FUR, which is
Yes,
very creative,
forever.
very clever. So, are you a dog person, cat person? You have two cats. You're going to adopt another cat. Is this, you favor cats, I guess?
Yes, so I love both dogs and cats. But as I have gotten older, I have my one cat right now, and then I'm going to be potentially adopting the other. But especially with my lifestyle, it's just very difficult for me to own a dog.
Hmm.
I'm leaving every now and then. I'll go to Virginia for a weekend to do shows, especially during 2024. I'll be gone throughout the months going back to Virginia for shows. And I do interviews like this in person and all of that. So I just think having a dog would be a little bit more difficult for me. But having my kitty, she is all used to my schedule, and she sleeps during the day, and she'll sleep with me at night, and she deals with my chaos.
But that's nice. And speaking of the kitty and the animals, have you written any songs about your animals? Has animals influenced your songwriting in any way?
No, because honestly, I feel if I did a song like that, I'd probably cry. uh, I especially with songwriting, I do lean towards more so writing about personal experience, things that I relate to, have gone through, etc. And so far, I have not lost my cat yet. Maybe when that time comes years and years from
Mhm.
now, I may end up writing a song about her. But there are some incredible people that write good songs about animals. Like
Oh
one
yeah.
off the top of my head is Feed Jake. I can't
Mhm.
remember who sings it, but if you've never heard that song and you want to have a good cry,
Hmm.
go listen to it.
Makenzie Phipps is our guest here on Border Crossings. You grew up in a small Virginia town, teeny tiny town, and you grew up listening to Queen. So how did you end up in country music?
When I was younger, I listened to pretty much anything. My dad, he knows every song under the sun. You could play any song and that man will know it. I don't know how. He'll tell you all the lyrics, tell you the artists. So I was around a lot of musical influences. I absolutely loved listening to Queen. They are one of my favorite rock bands. I love listening to the Eagles. I would go to other genres. Like I very much enjoyed listening to Amy Winehouse. That's more so on the blues element. I liked Nora Jones if we want jazz. And I just listened to anything and everything. I'd go to Avril Lavigne, to Loretta Lynn, to Phantom of the Opera. I love all different kinds of music, and I got started into music at a very young age when I was 4 years old.
Mhm.
So I just
Wow.
have a very strong passion for any kind of music.
And you tell people that you went to college in Princeton.
I went to college in Cedar Bluff,
Oh, Cedar
Virginia.
Bluff.
Yes.
Where were you for Princeton? Because I read something that you were in Princeton.
Oh, well, Princeton is actually in West Virginia. So where I grew up, I was on the Virginia-West Virginia line. So I lived in Bluefield, Virginia, but there is a Bluefield, West Virginia that people are more familiar with. They're like 5 minutes apart.
Hmm.
So I basically always say I grew up in both because there were some things you had to go to West Virginia for and vice versa.
Hmm.
But when I was in Princeton, I actually attended a music school when I
Right.
was younger that got me more so into music. I had attended that school when I was about 14 years old. And they would teach you how to go out in public and perform to people. They taught you how to kind of grow your social media pages, how to really interact with people on a more personal level and professional level.
Hmm.
So they really helped me get out of my shell and being able to do what I'm doing today.
That's great. Well, let's hear you do what you do today. You're going to sing a song for us right now?
I am going to actually do a sneak peek. This is a before sneak peek of my new song, 18 Wheels.
18 Wheels, and it's Makenzie Phipps on Border Crossings.
My daddy held our lives together on 18 wheels. For 18 years, countless miles from home. That old man truck that he would drive didn't have a radio, but that didn't stop him from singing country songs. And the day they laid him in the ground, you could hear a faint familiar sound, the jailbreak in the distance slowing down. When my daddy's wheels stopped turning, he was heaven bound. He lived a trucker's life in this old cold town. And when I'd hear the truck rolling, I knew it was my best friend, was the life he lived on 18 wheels. Looking back on growing up, we didn't have very much, but with Daddy I felt like I had everything. And Mama did her best, with Daddy on the road. Those late night calls would help him get back home. Sometimes I sit in his old seat and I think of all the memories. I could still hear the diesel engine shift in this old cold town. And when I hear that truck rolling, I knew it was my best friend, was the life he lived on 18 wheels. So the next time you're in a grocery store or staring out of your car door, just thank the Lord above for a trucker. When my daddy's wheels stopped turning, he was heaven bound. He lived a trucker's life in this old cold town. And when I hear that truck on him, I knew it was my best friend, was the life he lived on 18 wheels, was the life he lived on 18 wheels.
Border Crossings, 18 Wheels, which is the brand new song, the brand new single from Makenzie Phipps. Is this on an album or an EP? Where can people find this?
Yes, so this song is my new current release, and this song will be added to my EP that I'll be wrapping up here in the next couple of months. And I just am so excited to see what people think. I think Shane Begley, my backup guitarist and singer, did a great job writing the song for all truckers out there in the world.
Mm-hmm. Are you a fan of truckers? What's the connection of truckers? Is that where you were in Virginia? Is that big trucker towns?
So where I was from in Virginia, we were a coal town. And it's not much of a coal town anymore, especially in Bluefield, but we had so many different smaller towns around Bluefield, and there's coal miners and there's coal trucks and all that. And my mom had actually told me some of my relatives were truck drivers. But when Shane had wrote that song, he wrote it for me to sing at the 50th Mid-America Trucking Show anniversary that was held in Louisville, Kentucky, going on 3 years ago. And I just love the song so much because I feel like it's one of those tear-jerking songs. It has a very emotional story, and even individuals out there that may not have people in their lives that are truck drivers should still take a listen to the song and really get to realize just how important truck drivers are in our world today, because without them, we would not have anything.
Where else do you get inspiration for songs? What other things inspire you? I mean, you say you write about life around you as you observe it and things you experience and live yourself. So where does this inspiration come from?
It honestly just depends, because I have been dabbling more into songwriting since I have moved to Nashville. And I've actually started getting more so into writing songs that are not personal based, just if they come to me out of nowhere. But I started writing songs when I was 14, and the first song I ever wrote was about a guy that had broke my heart. So I wrote a song about that. And then I had wrote a song, actually the one song I'm the most proud of writing, and I have big plans for it, hopefully this year, is I wrote it about my mama, which is the one that got me into singing when I was 4 years old. And I wrote it about her having Alzheimer's, because that was a very difficult thing for me to deal with. She is still here. She's still got the mind rolling. She still knows me, my family. Short term is basically out the window, but she is still there. It is still her. It's just there's some aspects that are not her.
Right.
So I wrote that song not only for myself to cope with the situation, but when I release it, I want everybody that's in the same situation or shoes that I'm in to be able to relate to it as well.
Can you tell us what the name of the EP is?
I have not yet decided that yet.
What are your top 3 choices?
Oh, I don't even know. This will actually be the very first EP that I will have ever released. So I'm going to have to get with my team and really come up with something that people will remember.
How about Makenzie Phipps?
That
might work.
First person to give me an idea.
There it is. First idea.
Simple and sweet.
I see you got tattoos. What kind of artwork you got going on?
Yes. So this is the first one I ever got. It is a treble clef It's probably reversed on the camera, but I have that. And then I have this one. It's probably reversed. I'm not sure, but it says Some Are the Melody, and my best friend has the other half. And I have this one. It's hidden, but it is my mama's handwriting, and it says, Mama
Oh,
loves
wow.
you.
Whoa, that is very sweet. That's nice. That's nice. And you're
Yes.
obviously not afraid of pain because I know tattoos hurt a little bit.
Yeah, I have 3 tattoos, and the most piercings I have ever had was 12.
12 piercings.
Yes, I'm now down to 9.
Oh my goodness.
But my favorite piercing is my bar. I don't know if you could see
Yeah, I
it.
see that at the top of the ear. Yeah.
Yes, that was my first big girl purchase when I turned 18. I told my parents, I was like, I'm going to go get an industrial. That's what it's called. And they didn't believe me, but
Wow.
they did when I came home with it.
I know when you hear that pop going through the cartilage of the ear. Woo.
See, I was so worked up, I just tuned it out. I was
Yeah.
like, get it over with.
Makenzie Phipps is talking with us about her upcoming EP, which she will have a name for by the time it comes out. When do you think you're going to be putting out the EP?
I am hoping that the EP will be completely done by probably before summer, a little bit before summer, or right when summer starts.
And you had mentioned, songs just come to you. You said sometimes songs just come to you. So I always ask songwriters the same question. I ask, where's the most interesting or unique place you ever got a song that came to you?
The gym parking lot.
So you had the answer. You get right away. A lot of people struggle with that.
Of all places, the gym parking lot. This was actually the most recent song that I have written. I was going to the gym, and of course, everybody goes to the gym. They contemplate going in, so I'm in my car, and all of a sudden, the idea just came to my head. I started writing it. I sat there for like 30 minutes, and I think I wrote like half the song. I went and did a workout, came back home, finished the rest, and put music to it.
Wow. And then you were too tired to go in the gym and work out.
Well, I wrote half of it, went to the gym, then came back and then finished all of it. And I was like, all right.
Now, what's the song called? Working on a treadmill or?
It is called Pick Your Poison.
Pick Your Poison. I love it. Makenzie Phipps is our guest today here on Border Crossing, singer and songwriter. She's got a double trouble. She can do them both and do them both very well. And she talked about broken hearts. I know that's the one thing you got to be careful of if you date a songwriter is you might end up the subject of a song. Right. You mentioned Taylor Swift, and she's known for writing songs about past relationships. So what can you tell me, what the plans are for a tour in the next year?
Yes. So for 2024, I have been working so hard because when I moved to Nashville back in June, I had shows up until the end of May back home in Virginia. And then when I moved in June, I really didn't have many shows in the Nashville area because a lot of venues had already booked out their entire calendar for the year. So I struggled a lot with trying to figure out shows down here. But when October through December hit, I was going left and right, just contacting all of these places and calling them, emailing them, texting them, doing everything that I possibly could. And right now, I believe I have close to 90 shows for 2024.
That's fantastic. That's great. Makenzie Phipps, what's the next song you're going to do for us?
The next song I'm going to be doing is actually the second single that I released when I came to Nashville and recorded. And this one is called A Little of Both.
A Little of Both. Here's Makenzie Phipps on Border Crossings.
Love shop around with the girls, but I'll talk some shop with the boys. So if you ask me if I'm wine or whiskey, I'll have a little of both. I was raised down deep in the country, now way to the sound of the city. So if you ask me, stars, skies, or bright lights, I'll have a little of both. Jagger McCartney. I'll have the little above. Love how Saturday night leads into a slow Sunday morning. So if you ask me, 4 a.m. or amen, I'll have a little above. I roll with the punches. It gets me where I'm going. Sunshine or rain, I go where the wind's blowing. Some people hate me. I guess to make it look easy. Jack Daniels or Jim Beam, Mick Jagger, McCartney, I'll have a little above. Who says that you can't ride the rules? It's your life to live, it's your path to choose. And who says that you can't have it all? You never know where you'll land when you're ready to fall. I roll with the punches. It gets me where I'm going. Sunshine or rain, I go where the wind's blowing. Some people hate me. I guess to make it look easy. Jack Daniels or Jim Beam, Mick Jagger, McCartney, Tupac or Biggie, LA, NYC, I'll have a little above.
That's Makenzie Phipps and A Little of Both. And what was the inspiration of that song?
Well, this song was pitched to me by my producer, Sal Oliveri, and this song was written by phenomenal songwriters, and I loved the whole storyline of it because at that time I really related to this song because it's talking about a little of both. And how I related to it was I was moving from a very small town to a very big major city close to Nashville, Tennessee, and it was definitely something that I had to adjust to because I was born and raised in Bluefield, Virginia my entire life. Up until 21 years, that's where I lived. I never moved to a different state. I just moved at one point down a street. I moved from one house to the other house down a street in my neighborhood. So it was something definitely different for me and my parents too, to deal with moving from such a small town to a huge city. There's so many different things.
What's the one thing that you noticed that was different when you got to Nashville that that was really unexpected? The number of restaurants, the number of stoplights.
Probably, I didn't realize how bad traffic could be. Because I know that there are certain points, of course, you have rush hour, which is about 4 to 5, that time period that,
Right.
That's rush hour. But even like today, I had went and done a media shoot, a television shoot, and I got up at 3:50 to get ready because I had to be there at 6:15 in the morning for sound check. And I left my house at 5 o'clock, and it amazed me how many people are up at that time.
Yes.
Because back home in Virginia, if you're up at 5 o'clock and you're on the road, you're going to see like 2 cars.
Well, I tell you, if you came to DC and you tried to drive here, I don't think you'd like it at all because it's miserable.
I have been to DC before, and it's crazy.
Yeah, the driving is crazy. So tell me about your social media sites. Where can people go if they want to check in with Makenzie Phipps?
Yes, I'm available on all social media platforms. I'm on Instagram, TikTok, Facebook. All you got to do is look up Makenzie Phipps, and you can go to my website, MakenziePhipps.com, to check out any of my music, anything I have going on event related, and maybe our paths will meet.
And what's been the highlight for you so far?
Moving to Nashville.
That was the highlight, a career highlight, moving to I thought, you did Amazing Grace and you got like several million views. So that to me, that would be a huge highlight.
Yes, when I had done Amazing Grace, I believe I was 19 or 18. I think I may have been about to turn 18 years old. One of the two, 18 or 19. And when I had recorded that, it's just so amazing to me how Facebook individual works, because I had posted that, it had gotten a couple thousand of views, and then within 2 weeks after I had originally released it, it just blew up. And it's actually now, I believe, at 1.2 million views, because people sometimes just go back and it starts building traction. And it amazes me because it's been out for a couple of years now and people have made it go up another 100,000 views. And the other video that I had go viral was I Want to Stroll Over Heaven, and I had done that last year. Well, we're in 2024 now, so I believe I had done it in 2022. The years are running together for me.
Right.
I can't keep
At
up.
22, you better not get lose track.
But even with that song, that one had a little bit more of a quicker reaction to people. I believe I had it out for 2 days, and after that it reached it's my most viewed video, and that is, I believe, at 1.7 million views.
Wow, that's great. Congratulations.
How the algorithms work. I'll have something that's been up for months and people will just start watching it and it'll go up tens to 100,000 views. I never understand it. It's all in the Lord's will.
And who are the fans of Makenzie Phipps? I mean, are they young girls? Like, let's say Taylor Swift, who would have a 12 and 13-year-olds for most of the audience, but who comes to watch Makenzie Phipps?
So surprisingly, this has been something we have been trying to work on, but I have been told that I have an older soul. That's just how I've always
Sure. You like Queen and Eagles? Yeah, definitely.
Yes, I've always been perceived that way. So believe it or not, my fan base is usually at its highest being from 40 up. And our goal this year, especially me and my team, we've been really trying to work on, I have the older, quote, older, 40s and up, you ain't old, I promise. But I've been just realizing I do have that older generation in my back pocket. I have their support. I very much appreciate it. And now this year, I'm trying to gravitate towards my generation, trying to get those late teens up to 30s and try to get them more gravitated into my music too, so that I have all spectrums covered.
Well, the 40 plus group is, they got the money to buy your music. The teens, not so much yet. And the early 20s paying off college loans.
Yep. But
what did you study in school when you were in college?
So when I went to college, I had graduated high school the year of COVID, so 2020. I had my high school graduation in a football stadium because of all the COVID regulations and whatnot. But actually, an anonymous donor in my county had given all of my county's 2020 graduates free tuition to a community college, which was Southwest Virginia Community College. So anybody that graduated the year of 2020 in my county could go to that college for free.
Wow.
So college wasn't really something that I necessarily wanted to do, I guess, per se, because it wasn't in my heart. And especially when that came about, I talked to my parents and I was like, I've been doing music full time since I was 14. I can still continue doing it. So with this opportunity at hand, I cannot pass it up. I'm going to go get my associate's degree. So I decided to go and get general studies music. I had done that for 2 years and I got my associate's degree in that because my parents always talked about, at the end of the day, college is always there.
Right.
Still continue pursuing my dream and my passion, which is music. And I had done that all throughout, even when I was attending college. And then I graduated and now I'm still doing exactly what I've always been wanting to do.
Well, if you've got fans supporting you in the numbers like you've got, over millions, then, you're successful at what you're doing, obviously. And looking forward to the EP. How many songs on the new EP?
It is going to be 6.
6 songs. How far away from a full studio album are you?
I don't don't even know, because in today's world, that's what I always talk about with people. It's so crazy how the times have changed, because some days I always talk about, I wish I was born in a different decade. I wish I had been born in the era of Loretta and Tammy and all of them, because there's pros and cons to how the music world was back then and now, because today is definitely more of a internet technology based industry. And whereas back then, I mean, Loretta would go to radio stations, have her record and be like, play this, I'm going to talk to you, and so forth. And I would have loved to have done that, because I talk to people, I'll talk their heads off like I'm doing you right now. And I would have been completely fine being born back then. But in today's time, it can be a pro to have everything online, because it is easy to do, but at the same time, it's not too easy, because of course everybody would be doing it if it was too easy. So you get the numbers and the traction and everything like that. But in today's time, I mean, singles are even a big thing. All of the songs that I've released up to this point forming the EP have all been singles. So it just amazes me. Some people like albums, some people like singles. So hopefully down the road, I will be forming my first album.
And the technology's changed. If you were in Loretta Lynn's day, then you wouldn't have internet, you wouldn't have email, you wouldn't have multi-tracking MP3 files that you can send across the country and somebody can work on it 500 miles away from you. Which is, it's, you know, so the technology's helped a lot. You've got a bunch of awards. I'm looking here at your accomplishments. You were featured in Forbes magazine, Taste of Country, Country Rebel, I Love Country Music. You've got awards on social media. You've got Female Country Song of the Year at the Josie Music Awards, Songwriter Achievement Award 2022, and Future Star of Tomorrow by the North American Country Music Association. So congratulations to you.
Thank you.
That's wonderful. That's great news. Are you going to do another song with all those awards now? Can you grace us with one more song, or are we not worthy?
Yes, no. So this song was my third song that I released being in Nashville. Shane Begley did write this song too. And we wanted to kind of bring an upbeat song into the mix for everybody to listen to, but we wanted it to be about me. So he wrote this song about me, and we thought, what can we add in the mix for people out there that have never been to Virginia to relate to? So we added beer into the mix. So this is my song, You Bring the Beer, I'll Bring the Noise.
All right. And here is Makenzie Phipps on Border Crossings.
From a place in the mountains of Virginia that I call home, where the moon shines clear as the water where the river flows. We've been known to get a little bit rowdy in the evening time, and there's nothing like an Appalachian starlit summer night. I'm from a small town that I got some city dreams, making my way around, playing on six strings on these backwoods
Well, you bring the beer, she'll bring the noise.
I'll bring the noise.
You'll bring the noise. That's Makenzie Phipps we're talking with. We've got a couple more minutes before we have to say goodbye to you, but I wanted to ask you, when you're on stage performing, do you ever collaborate with anybody, or is it just you?
So whenever I'm going and doing my shows, it is duo shows. So it's me, and then I have Shane, who is my backup guitarist and singer. And I always tell people, Shane adds so much element. People wouldn't think that having another guitar on the stage would add a lot, but it really does, because he is just an insanely talented person, songwriter, musician, you name it. Mm-hmm. So I always tell people at the end of the day, I'm a singer. That's what I am. I'm a singer. I by no means say that I'm a musician. I can play the guitar, I can play the piano, but I don't rank myself as a musician, because at the end of the day, I just love to sing. That's why God put me on this earth, was to sing. So at my shows, I pretty much take over all of the singing. I try to make him sing some songs with his own part. He doesn't like doing it, but I make him do it every now and then. We'll do Jackson. But I usually play rhythm guitar, and he will play all of the leads and all of the instrumental breaks and everything like that. And it just all comes together so great.
And you mentioned that you graduated in a stadium, and I also read that you have sung in stadiums before. Isn't that hard, to the echo, the delay for a singer?
No, because I have sang the national anthem so many times. If I had to put $1 to every time I've sang that song, I could buy a new guitar. Because I started singing that song when I was 10 years old, and since then I never stopped. I had to sing it last month at one of my old high school's basketball games. A good friend of mine, her dad actually coaches the basketball team at my old high school, and he had asked me since I was coming in if I would sing the anthem. So I always get excited when people ask me to do that song, because that was one of the first things I ever started doing out in public when I was 10 years old, before I started doing my own shows when I was 14. So it doesn't really bother me too much with the echo. It honestly kind of helps, because I can kind of hear myself and know what I sound like, and it adds finesse.
Reba's just did the national anthem at the Super Bowl recently.
Yes.
Yeah, that was fantastic. It was great to see her singing the national anthem. 100 million people watching. We're talking with Makenzie Phipps. And once again, social media sites, websites, where can people find out more information about you?
I'm on TikTok, Facebook, Instagram, and my website is MakenziePhipps.com.
And is that the same handle for the Facebook and everything else?
Yes, it's just Makenzie Phipps.
Makenzie Phipps. All right. And I'm sure that you read your messages so people can reach out and talk to you and get her new EP when it comes out, in the near future. And I thank you for joining us on Border Crossings. Is there any message you want to send out to the worldwide audience, which includes the troops who tune in?
Yes, well, I just appreciate everybody's support so much, and I would not be anywhere I am today without individuals like you who are listening to this interview right now. I just appreciate everything that people have done for me, my amazing team, my parents, everything like that, and the good Lord. I would not be doing anything without him, and I very much appreciate our troops that may be watching right now. So thank y'all so much again, and if you want to follow me on any social media, just go to any of those pages and maybe our paths will meet, but I cannot wait to see what 2024 holds.
Looking forward to it. It's Makenzie Phipps, our guest today. Thank you for joining us. My name is Larry London, and you are watching Border Crossings on VOA TV.